Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to our migraine strategy call. I am Debbie Waidl, your migraine health coach specialist, here to help you find ways to actually reduce the severity, duration, and frequency of your migraines without having to do all of the complicated things that you've been trying over the last few decades, all the pills and the injections and the ice hats and the oils and the extremely difficult to follow diets. We're here to sort through all of that for you so that you can actually find your migraine freedom. So everybody, this is going to be an actionable call. Please make sure that you put your questions and everything below as we're chatting, because we have a very special guest with us today. Jenny has joined us. She is a graduate of our Freedom from Migraine Method Complete program, and she's joined us today to share her journey and her experience working with us and working towards her migraine freedom. So Jenny, thank you for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So can you just share a little bit about yourself for everyone so they know who they're listening to today?
My name's Jenny Dean Batson, and I am a women's health nurse practitioner, and I live in rural Missouri. And I've suffered from migraines for probably 30 plus years. So
And not anymore. So let's dive right in. While you're answering, I'm just going to look us up on Facebook and make sure I can see all the comments. But you mentioned that you're in the medical field, you are a nurse. And what was that like, for 30 plus years, having migraines, being in the medical field, and not being able to find the answers to help yourself?
well, it was a struggle every day. I felt like I was living one day at a time, or some days 1 minute at a time,
Mm.
just trying to find the next thing to rescue my migraine. Um, Now that I'm migraine free, I feel like I didn't realize how much pain I was actually in.
Yeah, because
So,
we normalize it, right? It just becomes part of your
mhm.
daily life.
So just it was, I look back now and I wonder how I did it. So,
Me too. And I know a lot of the ladies that have gone through the program kind of feel the same way, like, oh my gosh, we raised kids, we had a full-time career, we were trying to keep the house up, and we had pain, continuously. So I totally get it. And then once you become migraine free, it's like, oh, we're never going back there. We're not
right.
going back to that way. So you had so many tools, obviously, that you could have used, medication, all of that, the conventional, the route that way. So how was the Freedom from Migraine Method program that you did different from everything that you were taught as a nurse?
Um, some of the pillars I had in place, but I
Hmm.
think it takes a combination of all six of them to implement all six of them for them to be totally effective. Um, Sometimes timing is an issue, routine is a big issue. Some of these things I was never taught about for migraines. So, um, just learning new things. Yeah, keeping an open mind.
Absolutely. And I think that's probably one of the biggest struggles with so many women, just like you, that come to me and say, I have tried it all. I've done it all. I'm already working
Mhm.
on exercise. I'm already working on food or whatever the case may be. But then realizing once you get into the program, as you said, that it's really about putting all six together, our six key areas of inflammation that we focus on in our protocol, and then putting them together in the right order and having a plan to do that. Because I know for me, and I don't know if this is your experience, Jenny, but when I was first trying to end my migraines, I kind of would always work at one thing at a time. All right, I'm going to try to fix my diet. Oh, I still have migraines. That didn't work. So let me try to go, I don't know, fix my exercise. Oh, that didn't work. So let me try something else. And we kind of bop back and forth and never put things together that way. Did you kind of feel you were doing the same thing?
Yes, and even different items that I try whichever one worked for the day, or a relief for 15 minutes was better than no relief at all.
Oh,
So,
amen to that. Which I think is why we all are so willing to take medication that really doesn't work,
mhm.
because none of the medication makes the migraines never come back, right? But we're willing to take it because we just like, oh my gosh, we need this much relief. Just give me some relief today, right?
Mhm.
So you mentioned 35 years, 35 years that you had migraines, or over 30 years, I should say. So can you explain a little bit about how you felt before you started working with us in comparison to now?
Well, one of the I feel totally energized compared to what I was before. Um, I'm not beating for the next pill to help me out. I went from 27 pills down to, I think it's like 4, and I'm still working on getting those down.
But let's just stop and think about that. That's amazing in 4 months.
Oh, absolutely,
4 months, the amount of medication you went to. So to only have 4 left, and as you said, you were actively working on that and having a plan, that's quite something. Because those
Mhm.
medications, as much as we're not anti-med in this group, just being in the medical field, that every single medication can have a side effect and have a consequence. They can be wonderful, to keep us out of pain or to help, but they come at a price, don't they?
Right. And I've learned to be more patient with myself because it takes time.
Yes.
And it's still in the process now. It's not completed. So just taking a step back and looking where you've started and where you are headed is, you can see those baby steps mean a lot of things.
Yeah, well, 4 months is really like a blink of an eye compared to 3 decades.
Mm-hmm.
So and we think we have to remember that the changes that we make and the things that we learn help us make a lifelong shift, so that not only can the migraines go away, but as you mentioned, you can feel so much better in other areas.
Right.
What a bonus to come in and get rid of the migraines and then go, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. I feel like, I'm 54 and I feel like I have more energy now than when I was 30.
And part of it, my energy, part of it may be because I'm sleeping. Before I just thought it was normal to wake up 3 or 4 times a night, where now if you sleep a whole night, you're like, woohoo. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it doesn't make it normalized, I think, for women like in the perimenopause age that, oh, well, most women don't sleep well. That's normal. We kind of have it ingrained. It's genetic that women, can wake up so much easier, but that might be, common that it happens, but it's not normal. So for anyone who is not sleeping well, that is your body giving you a signal and a sign that something is going wrong. And, as Jenny knows, by working on all those 6 key areas, all of a sudden her sleep got better, which then gives you more energy, which then reduces the inflammation. So it's this nice little circle that really helps everything. Jenny, we have a bunch of people who popped on today. We've got Susan on and Robin, and Jen is watching. Hey, Valentina. Good to see everybody. Oh, thank you, Jen. Jen said, great question. I'm not sure which one, but thank you. Susan's in Springfield, Illinois, traveled to Missouri often, but she's a St. Louis Blues fan. And Heather is watching. Hello, everyone. Well, thanks for being here. If you ladies have any questions for Jenny as we're chatting, feel free to pop them below, or if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and do that. I hope everybody had a great Christmas and is going to have a great New Year's. So Jenny, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but tell me, how is your life different now? Different than before the Freedom from Migraine method?
Well, for beginners, I think I've changed my focus.
Okay.
My daily focus was how to get rid of a migraine. And now that I don't have them, it's how to keep them away and keep my routine and keep implementing the steps that I've learned in the program. Even though I've graduated from the program, you still live by that routine that you learn to accomplish in the
Mhm.
program to benefit from it. So once you get the signal that you may be getting a headache, it's like, okay, you got to look back and see what I have done that I probably shouldn't have, or what
Mhm.
steps I need to take to prevent it from blowing up into a full migraine.
Yeah, and you've got those tools, so it doesn't have to,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that is the great thing. And I can tell you over time, this just becomes second nature. You don't even think about it. You just kind of do it. I went through my holidays kind of knowing that I wasn't going to sleep well, knowing I was going to eat a little more sugar, knowing that, bread was going to sneak in a little bit more, but I didn't have to worry about it. It was just kind of one of those focuses like, all right, what's on your plate? Is that going to be good for you today? Yep, that's good. Okay, perfect. And eat it. And that's the
Mhm.
best when it becomes like riding a bike,
Right,
your new way of life. And it really is the way that's going to keep you super healthy, and keep you happy. So that's what we're looking for. Oh, you're getting a lot of hearts on here. Thank you, everyone. Um, so Jenny, you have a captive audience. You have women that are, I think this time of year more than any other, are really kind of sad, sad that maybe they didn't get through the holiday the way they wanted to because they had migraines, maybe a little sad that another year is ending and they're still having migraines, and even though they're in this group, I still think a lot of these women don't believe that there is a way for them to end their migraines because they're different, or maybe they're in the medical field, so they assume that they should be able to do it, or they've tried everything. So what would you say as a nurse, somebody who really, according to conventional medicine, should have been able to get the help you needed, through that means? What would you say to those people about this program and about what you have accomplished?
you definitely need to give this program a chance. I was one that doubted it, and I thought, I don't have anywhere else to go. What do I have to lose? So, just taking it step by step and doing what you need to do. If you don't catch it the first time, go back and review.
Mhm,
Um, always keep your safety uh items with you.
mhm,
I pack it around in my purse, or I pack around in my backpack, whatever it may be that day. So just know what helps you and what things you need to avoid. If you learn your triggers, I think, and build your threshold,
mhm.
you are bound for it to be successful.
Absolutely. And I love that you just said that. And that's like a perfect place to kind of sum up there is it is, it's good if we can learn what things do trigger us. Cause obviously, let's just say if every single time you drink a glass of wine, you get a migraine, well, that's an obvious one. We're going to avoid wine right now, right? But as Jenny said, the key is we're working on raising our migraine threshold. And the higher we raise that threshold, the more triggers we can come into contact with without them causing a migraine. And this is where the success comes in. So everything that we do in the Migraine Freedom Protocol is working on raising that threshold so that if you do have a bad day, let's say you get a cold, you don't sleep well, maybe you didn't work out because you weren't feeling well, you didn't eat perfectly because you wanted comfort foods when you weren't feeling well, you're not going to get a migraine if you have a high enough threshold. But if you have a small threshold, chances are that's going to trigger a migraine, which is why so many people, when they get vaccinations, get migraines. When they get a cold, they get migraines. Stress of the holidays, they get migraines because that threshold is way too small. So Jenny has worked hard for 4 months to raise hers nice and high so she could enjoy her holiday season this year and 2024 with the goal of getting off those last 4 medications, right?
Right, right.
Amazing. Oh, everyone, thank you so much for popping on today. My goodness, people keep jumping on. Hey, Wendy and Erica and Karen and Lindsay. So good to see everybody this week. Does anybody have any questions for Jenny before we end today? I want to make sure I honor Jenny's time and your time. I know it's still a busy week with people celebrating and trying to catch up. But if we don't catch your question here, feel free. You can always pop it in afterwards. Just comment #replay and we'll come back and take a look. But Jenny, thank you. Thank you so much
Thank,
for taking your time this week to chat with us.
thank, thank you, and thanks to the other coaches as well. I greatly appreciate all you've done for me. You've changed my life.
Aw, well, thank you. And I know the coaches would say right back, it was their absolute pleasure to help and support you and each and every woman that we do. So if you are someone that, is feeling like Jenny did 5 months ago, 6 months ago, kind of lost, not really sure what to do, not sure what direction to turn, let's at least have a quick conversation. There is zero obligation on the conversation. My team actually does quick 15-minute calls just to see where you're at, to see how we can best help you, whether that be like Jenny through a program, or maybe it's through a challenge or a boot camp, or maybe it's us giving you a resource. but we don't know what you need until we chat with you, because each and every person is unique. Each and every person needs something different. So if you would like to at least have a conversation to see where you fall in that spectrum of help, just comment. Let's see, what should we comment? Let's comment Jenny below. We're going to comment Jenny below, and anyone that comments Jenny, either Kathy or Valentina will reach out and see if we can get you hooked up with a member of the team as soon as possible, so that you can go into 2024 like Jenny's going to, with her Migraine Freedom and being really happy. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here today. It was my absolute pleasure. We will be back next week for our migraine strategy call on Thursday, the 4th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be going over all the details that you need to join us for our 2024 boot camp. And if you have any interest in trying to learn about the connection between your ideal weight and your migraines, next week's migraine strategy call is one you do not want to miss. All right, everybody, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, have a great day, and we will see you in the group. Take care, everybody.